How fun was it being Ricky Fowler in those first early couple years taking off?
It was awesome. I mean, I was fortunate enough from going from Walker Cup '09. I played at the time, I believe it was nationwide. I played 2 nationwide events because the tour was, I think, going through like their playoffs and stuff. So just wanted to play to get ready for the fall series. I got to play 3 events. Unfortunately, there was one in there that got rained out, but I made enough money to get the final stage. Ended up getting through Q school. But yeah, to go from Walker Cup and then a year later on a Ryder Cup team, I didn't make it off of points, but being able to just be in a position to be considered for the team, that was special alone. But I still remember, I was in a hotel room with my dad was out that week, and the calls were coming in that night, so we were hanging, and I remember getting that call from Corey, and yeah, it's hard to describe going from Walker Cup to Ryder Cup. You see someone now like Ludwig going from playing a few months and on a Ryder Cup team. I mean, that obviously tops me by far, but it was a special ride early to, like I said, be fortunate enough to play well when I needed to kind of give myself a solid foundation, because there's so many guys. I mean, as you know, seeing our friends that turn pro and, struggle just to get decent status somewhere, whether that's Korn Ferry or even, playing like Canada or Latin America. So to play well and kind of ride off that Walker Cup and bypass so many steps, that was, a huge blessing, because there's making it to the PGA Tour is very difficult. They've opened up a kind of a couple different avenues now with like PGA Tour U and some other things, but that still doesn't make it easy. You have to play well and you have to play good golf to get out there. So, crazy to think back on it, but that was a fun ride.
For some reason, the thing I remember too, I remember when you were in, I think it was Vegas, where they had you doing some publicity stunt in town, and you made a hole-in-one.
Oh, that was DC.
DC.
I remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I made some sake we brought back from Japan.
Cheers.
Very well.
Very good. It was one of my sponsors for a long time was Red Bull, and we did some fun stuff. Obviously, it was a perfect crossover for me with my motorsport background and being involved in action sports. But we did some fun stuff. That was a cool one because I think they did like I don't know if it was, they hid golf balls. There was maybe like 25 or 30, I can't remember the number. They were all numbered, and whoever found them, that was their ball. And I wish I remember what the prize was. I might have been money, but if I made a hole in one, someone got something. And the hardest thing about that shot, I mean, it wasn't tough, but you're not on a golf course. It was maybe like 120 yards or something, but I couldn't see the hole because it was between buildings and then down a set of stairs, and then they had a synthetic green built,
right?
And all I could see above the stairs was the flag, which that's enough, you know where to go, but I couldn't, my depth perception of like seeing where balls landed. So I had to ask this guy who does some announcing, who was with me, Chick Hernandez. I'd have to ask him. I was like, hey man, can you have them tell you where that landed? So I had a reference. But I made the one, it spun back and went in, but I think I also flew one in the hole that came out.
What was it, 52 degree?
I think I was hitting 52. That was before the U.S. Open at Congressional.
Yeah.
It was fun. That's one of the things. You play well, you end up with some partners and cool people to be around. Obviously, it means more time and work that you have to do, but there's times where you get to do some cool random stuff, and maybe not the, who knows, could have been good prep for USM. I don't know, but we had fun.
Sure. Yeah.
What's another cool experience from some sponsors that you've went through?
I think some of the kind of the fun ones for me have been doing like some of the commercials. You know, as you know, like being with Grayson and stuff, you do photo shoots and kind of, you go through the motions, take pictures. They can be long days. And it's, you see a picture
Right.
in a catalog or whatever it may be. And there could be some cool locations and different stuff, but at least with commercials, what I kind of thought was cool is you could see like a finished living product. Now there were plenty of times I felt like a complete idiot, because one, I'm not an actor. I never tried to act, but it's to go from a kid wanting to play on the PGA Tour to then be out there and then seeing yourself like be on commercials and
On TV.
with you know, sponsors and stuff. You're like, yeah, this is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And then you have to deal with the haters along the way too.
Of course.
You know, they give you a hard time, like, oh, you're spending too much time doing that. It's like, kind of comes with the territory. So yeah, there's everyone who would be in that position would be doing the exact same thing.